Hey everybody, Mike Hall, real estate broker with Red One Realty. Wanted to share a little bit about ChatGPT and how that can help you and your real estate business. So today we're going to get over why you should use ChatGPT, what you should watch out for in ChatGPT, and then most importantly, how you can utilize it to be more efficient, build your business, and make sure that you close more transactions. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. So first, I just want to find out if you're using ChatGPT. And if you take a look, it has over 100 million users, and it had that in the first 2 months. So just to compare kind of history, we all know Netflix and Gmail, all these other things, they took years to get to 100 million users. So there's a ton of people out there signing up for it. I don't think artificial intelligence is going away. So we got to make sure that we use it while being cautious about some of its limitations. So what is ChatGPT? It's a computer language developed by OpenAI, and there's lots of different AI out there, but ChatGPT seems to be the latest, greatest one that's available. It seems to provide the most human-like responses to the most answers. So as you're out there, we're going to get into ChatGPT live so that everyone can see that today. We're going to run through some real specific prompts for real estate agents so that you can be more efficient and go out there and close more deals. So I know with any new technology, there's going to be a little bit of hesitation when it comes to using it. So we're going to talk about, why you should use it and then talk about those hesitations. So first, it saves you a ton of time. We're going to see in a lot of these prompts today how much time it can save you. And I've coached hundreds of real estate agents. I have brokered over 40,000 transactions and just billions and billions of dollars in sales that I've supervised from a broker standpoint. And I can tell you as an agent, the thing that you need to do the most is spend time building your pipeline, communicating with other humans, and minimizing time that you're sitting in front of the screen. Well, this is going to be able to save you that time, make sure that it does increase your efficiency, and it's going to make sure that your ads and service are better on the back end also. And for those of you who know me, I'm from Portsmouth, Ohio. My grammar is horrible. I think it's perfectly acceptable to say, where are you at? ChatGPT says, hey, you don't need the at, you just say, where are you? So if your grammar is not great, it certainly helps me if you plug it in there first. Lots of other tools that do that too. But what I love about it is it's able to go out there and I just ask it a question and it gives me a very human-like answer that's different from Google. So obviously we all use Google, but we're going to compare the two today. And that's kind of how I got started in ChatGPT. And I recommend you do the same thing that says, hey, let's go out there, let's run them side by side and kind of see why I like my answer better at. And there's nothing wrong with having two sources. So let's take a look at the disadvantages to ChatGPT. So first of all, it stopped learning in September of 2021. So if you're asking it questions about how's the market today, you're not going to get the answer you're looking for. But there's a lot of questions we can still ask that helps you with your real estate business. But keep in mind, current events, not ideal. They do say they're working up until to get us to September of 2022, but that is not yet out there in the system. It's also not always right. So we're humans, we're real estate professionals. When it gives us an answer, don't take it as gold. So let's make sure we use our own judgment and look into that. And some of the things that may prompt you to put out there in the world on your social media channels, you certainly wouldn't want to. So use your judgment and utilize that whenever it gives you responses. It also cannot access the MLS. Huge tool we have as real estate professionals, not going to be able to get out there and get some of those resources. So we're not going to be able to get that done. And then lastly, it's just not you. And when you're out there and you're interacting online and you're making blog posts and different things, it's not going to have your personality. But we're going to go through a few things that can tailor the inflection of the language it has, but it's never going to be you. So it's good to use it as a guideline, some examples, maybe some thoughts to kind of get you brainstorming, and then put your information out there. And I'm going to get through those first slides really quickly and really get into the meat and potatoes of it and say, hey, what can I really do? How can I leave here and immediately have better results in my business? So that's where I wanted to start. That's where we're going to go right now. And if you're familiar with extensions, let me move some things around on my screen here. Extensions are little items up here. If you can kind of see them, like I have Screencastify, I have Fireshot, I have some different extensions up here. Well, one of the extensions I have is ChatGPT for Google. So if you just go out there and you search ChatGPT for Google, you're able to go out there and find this. The only place that I like downloading things is from the Chrome store. It's going to say chrome.google.com, and I trust that. And what that does for me is, if you can see, it's going to go out there and it's going to run Google over here on the left side, and it's going to run ChatGPT over here on the right side. So I love being able to run the two side by side just to make sure that it introduces me to ChatGPT, but I'm not taking an additional step to go out there and use it. So let's just say I'm brand new to this and I said, well, what is ChatGPT? Over here on the left-hand side, I'm going to get my Google responses, and you can see it comes back in like point something of a second. It is super fast. ChatGPT is a little slower, so definitely a downside as well. Normally not this slow, especially for an easy question like that, but ChatGPT will normally respond over here on the right-hand side. Oh, ChatGPT, you're not helping us out here. Not a good presentation for ChatGPT. I think that's more of a function of the extension versus that. Normally it pops up quite quickly, but we'll go to the website as well for most things. But at least to get started, if you just download ChatGPT for Google only from the Chrome store, it should have both of them here available to you. So if you don't like the answers here, you can come over here. One of the things I do like about it is there's no ads yet. I think we live in an ad-based world. Normally, a lot of times I'm going to see ads over here for Google, and ChatGPT doesn't have ads yet. So I definitely like that part of it better. So as you get into Google Chrome, the little logo looks like this guy right here. So make sure that you download the ChatGPT for Google. There may be other extensions by now, but up until this, normally when I run both, I still get side-by-side answers, and I'm able to go in and get that information. So let's go to ChatGPT and let's take a look at some things that I know some agents struggle with. Some of you are wordsmiths, and I love you, and you write a property description and I'm like, I want to buy that home. However, some of you call me and you say, oh my God, what am I supposed to write for a property description? Full disclosure, creativity is not my strong suit either. So what I normally used to do is go to the MLS, piecemeal some things together from other ones that had sold, because that's my desired result. But what I can do now is I can just go into ChatGPT and do it. So if you've already signed up, great. If not, the website is chat.openai.com. There's lots of imitations out there, but it's chat.openai.com. And I'm just going to tell it to write a property description. Now, obviously, I'm a real estate professional. There's lots of laws that I need to abide by that ChatGPT may not be aware of. So I'm going to use it to get an idea, and then I'm going to make sure that I really go through and get it done. So I can tell you this is better than I would have written it. Obviously, it's not the first time I did this. I want to make sure I tested it before. We're live on video here, but it says, welcome to the property. It gives you lots of information. It sounds great. Now, the problem with this, I don't know exactly how many words this is, but there's lots of people from different MLSs out there. You probably have a character count or a word count. So you can say, rewrite. Let me just cut. And you might be able to just say rewrite above. I'm not sure. I've always been copying it. Up to if I put the passage in. Can't fix user error, but now it's going to rewrite it and only have 500 words. So it's going to take that out. So if you're struggling and you're saying, hey, you can tell it to get rid of the fluff, you can tell it for a specific word count, you can go out there and get things done. It has character count. So you're able to go out there and make sure that whatever your MLS allows, you use it to the maximum ability. And still, obviously, you're going to go through and edit it, make sure it's compliant with all of your local rules, because ChatGPT doesn't know your specific MLS rules. Perfect. Someone says you can summarize it to make it smaller as well, or add bullet point. Thank you. Thank you. So if you're struggling to write property descriptions, that's an easy way to save you time. Now, would I copy this and put it right in the MLS? Absolutely not. But would this give me a good starting point where I could go through and pick out some of the things that make it sound great? Yes. So consider ChatGPT. And if you want to test how great you are, you go ahead and write it, let ChatGPT write it, and then maybe make a combination of both. That way you have the best description out there for your properties. Not that you need the best description out there with our limited inventory market right now, but still going to help. We want to make sure that we put the best information out there at all times for our clients. Another way you can use it is to write blogs. So I know lots of agents out there that say, well, I don't have time for blogs. Well, what if you could write a blog post in under 3 minutes? I think all of you can find 3 minutes to write a blog post if ChatGPT does the heavy lifting for you. So you can, here's some really good ones out here. You say, hey, you can just ask ChatGPT and say, what should real estate agents write a blog about? But whenever you do it, I like saying, hey, write an SEO optimized blog post for something. 10 reasons to invest in a home, 5 reasons to move to your area. I think I have some other ideas here. Let me just move this up. 10 reasons to buy a home now. Add value, like, top 5 restaurants for date night in your area. How interest rates affect the real estate market. So you're really able to go out there and write those blog posts really easy. Like, I don't know the Cincinnati market at all, but let's say I was a new agent, right? And I said, hey, I'm moving to Cincinnati. I want to build my brand and I want to start blogging and get people to go out there and write it. So it's going to come out here. Now, if any of you are on Cincinnati, let me know if you like any of these restaurants. Cincinnati is only 2 hours away, but apparently, don't tell my wife, but I am not romantic because I'm not taking her to any of these. But if you're going out there and you're adding value, you're building your online presence, easy way to go out there and add value. So ask ChatGPT and say, hey, what's the top things that realtors should blog about? And it will give you ideas. And then once you have those, then ask ChatGPT to do it with SEO optimized. And, I didn't tell it to write a blog post. So let me tell it to write a blog post. We'll just change it up about why you should move to Fort Myers, Florida. I don't know why I should move to Fort Myers, Florida, but ChatGPT is going to tell me approximately 500 words, and it's going to go through and kind of give me that blog post. So for those of you that have KV Core, the first thing it does is it gives you a subject. And normally it doesn't take this long, but ChatGPT is technically still in beta mode. So sometimes it runs quickly, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I have to do a whole new one. It might not like how I attached it to that last one. Let's just start a new chat. Write a blog post for a realtor about why a buyer should move to Fort Myers, Florida. So then it's going to go in as first, it's going to give me a title, which I like. For those of you that have KV Core, it's super easy to go out there and put a blog out there. If you don't have KV Core, whatever blogging platform you have would be great. But if you have KV Core, you can go to your KV Core, hover over Web and IDX and go to your website blog. The number one thing that Google likes is a new updated information and wants to stay relevant. If you've never updated your website and you've had it for a year or 3 or 5, you're probably not going to rank that well. You go in, you add a post, it gives me the title, so I don't have to think about it. It's a hidden gem. I don't know that it's a hidden gem, but maybe it is. So you go out there, you post that, and you come back to ChatGPT, and obviously you copy all this, put it in climate, beaches, arts, quality of life, and you can easily copy that over and post a blog. And even live on this video, kind of explaining it. It took me 3 minutes or less. I'm building my online presence. I'm updating my website, and ChatGPT is going to do 99% of the work for me. So anyone else out there, what are you blogging about? What have you had ChatGPT blog about? Put the comments in the chat. I'm going to open those up and kind of look and see what's going on, because I think ChatGPT is still relatively new. I've done my research, but there's lots of things I still don't know about ChatGPT. So the more collaborative it is, the better it can be. Yep, someone says you only need the free version at this time. They are coming out with a paid version. Asking to buy now, correct, will not come past 2021. So a lot of times when you ask ChatGPT about, like, Columbus, Ohio now has the big Intel plant coming in, it's not going to say all those jobs are coming in that was announced in the last year or so. So that is absolutely correct. Oh, Evan is from Cincinnati. Thank you. ChatGPT must do well. Evan must be a romantic as well. Thank you, Evan. Alex says he just told ChatGPT to write a 90-second script for a video walking the benefits of moving to Athens, Georgia, and it's amazing. I'm telling you, this is what realtors need. We need the content. We're not content writers. We're not video script writers. The great realtors are wonderful in their person-to-person meetings. I mean, they're people person. I think it's a people person job, but with so much moving online, especially since COVID, we got to make sure we develop that online persona as well, and this will help. Yeah, we're going to talk about scripts for videos here in just a little bit. And yes, it does do other languages. We're going to talk about that word too. Nina asks a great question. Can you copy word for word and do you not have to worry about plagiarizing? And as of right now, whenever you do it, you can say, make sure it's not plagiarized, but ChatGPT writes a unique one each time. So if you go in there and write it, it's unique. It's not plagiarizing. I have kids in college, and right now they're really struggling with this because it passes the plagiarizing test of the colleges. At least last time I looked a month or two ago, we're all scrambling to try to figure out how college kids couldn't cheat the system and write it because it's not getting flagged with their plagiarizing checks that they have. So yes, you can copy it word for word. If you feel like it's beautifully written and you don't need to change it, copy it word for word. It's not copyrighted. And it's a big problem for colleges right now, but not a big problem for us in real estate. You can copy it word for word, as long as it's compliant, no problem at all. It doesn't belong to anyone else. So it says if 100 people in Columbus with Red One ask the same question, no, and not give the same results. It's going to be similar. It's definitely going to be similar. Let me go back to ChatGPT. And so I asked it something about, why move to Florida? And you guys probably have a better memory than I do, but it says climate, beaches, thriving arts and culture, quality of life, abundance of recreational activities. So we're going to regenerate a response and we're going to have it do something else. So maybe it didn't like the last one. So this is discover the irresistible charm. And before it was like a hidden gem. So this is definitely different already. It says recreational. You have to mention beaches, but it's a little bit different. So it's definitely going to be different every time. This one talks about the booming real estate market, even though it's still old. So see, that's what you have to watch out for, because maybe since 21, Fort Myers tanked. Obviously it didn't. The price of homes appreciating down there is just outrageous, but things you can go in so you can see it's going to be different every time. And you could use, maybe you do this 5 times and you say, well, you know what? I want to use number 1 from the first one, 3 from the second one, 5th from that. This one at least started the same way, but it's supposed to be different every time. So it's not exact. So you can take a look and see what you like from each one. Avoiding plagiarizing, got it. Ah, someone sent me a private message that says they see some descriptions that have a footnote that says AI assisted. To my knowledge, in the MLSs that I'm a member of, that's not required. However, I could see where the MLS required that in the future. But I still think even if you put AI assisted, it's your license still on the line. So you definitely have to double check those. So if you don't know what to blog about, ask ChatGPT, the top blogs that real estate agents should write. It's going to give you some ideas. So it really helps with that creativity part, which is great for me because I'm just not great at creativity. I think I'm great when it comes to structure and discipline and work ethic. When you say, hey, Mike, go out there and think about outside the box things that you can blog about, me and maybe some of the realtors on this call are like, not my specialty. This will help you go out there and really build that. Also, maybe you want to differentiate yourself. What can you do differently? So you could go out there and ask ChatGPT for 20 creative ways a realtor could show appreciation to their client. So again, lots of different things out here. You can just go in, plug it in. You're not spending a ton of time researching it, trying to do all these things. It should be normally just go out there and start spitting out 20 things. But clearly ChatGPT is running slow today. It's trying though. There you go. So it'll spit out those 20 things, not as fast as Google, which is where I normally like kind of running them side by side. But this is a little slower than I typically see it. And I've been in here several dozen times, ask it lots of questions, sometimes just to see what it would tell me. But, it'll give you things, have you ever thrown your clients a housewarming party? I don't know that I do it as a surprise per se, but say, hey, let me throw you a housewarming party, kind of sponsor it, do things like that, charitable donations in their name. So there's lots of different things that you can kind of do. And you say, you know what, I maybe just need one way to show some appreciation this month for my sphere of influence. And you go through and you find one of these items that you utilize in your business. Next, just like we're doing video today, video, I believe, is the way of the future, and you can ask it to write a YouTube script for you. Now, I don't think everything should just be scripted, but to have that outline of kind of what you want to do, some forms, some things like that is wonderful. So if you said, hey, I want it to write a script of how to get your real estate offer accepted in a low inventory market, full disclosure, I'm working on this video right now, and I have not asked ChatGPT to help. But we're going to ask ChatGPT to help, see if it gives me any ideas. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, that's the next one going out there. So if you're kind of struggling to get your offers accepted, the next video I do is going to give you 10 ways to get your offer accepted in a low inventory market. So, and I can already tell this would help me because, again, creativity is not it. So having that introduction and that, my content's going to be great. But, the script and things like that, kind of how you start, and I have different segments. So it's going to give you lots of ways to go out there and help get your offer accepted in a low inventory market. So I think some of these will be basic, but we'll take a look at these. I'll make that video, and hopefully at some point in time in the future, we have more inventory out there, but it's just not going to be anytime soon. We're going to be in a low inventory market for quite some time. I think the builders just haven't built enough in the last years, and we just need more inventory out there. But long form video, YouTube is really great. And I don't know what you consider long form and short form, but now they say long form used to be 10 minutes or more. Now they're saying long form is 8 minutes or more. Don't know what your thoughts are, but for me, 8 minutes doesn't seem like an incredibly long video. But everyone has ADD. Everyone has, trouble paying attention. There's so many distractions in our life that, that's where all the short form videos have really grown in popularity. We're going to talk about those a little bit next. But if it's 8 minutes or more, at this point in time, you should be on YouTube, especially if it's open and available for everyone out there. Vimeo gives you the opportunity to lock down your content. So if you want to put some resources out there and say, hey, it's for my clients only, or for something like that, you could certainly do that, or a LMS, a learning management system. If you're doing 8 minutes or more, I think YouTube is ideally the place that you're going to put most of your videos. If you don't have that script available, you can go in, it'll help type one for you and be able to give you some resources there. So I have really not got into the short form video trending thing out there. And I am a little bit late to some of the technology adoption, but whenever I see millions of people doing it, I think, man, I got to do it. And I'm just not funny. I'm not. I wish I were. I've read a book on how to be funny. It doesn't make me funny. So I'm going to need ChatGPT's help. I'm just going to ask it to write a funny TikTok script for items to watch for in a home inspection. Now, I should have done this before doing this live, and I haven't. So we'll see live what the results are look like. And we'll see if it will write a funny TikTok script for things to watch in a home inspection. So it gives me a title. It tells me what to play. Oh, it even helps me. I need to be more energetic. So energetically, I do it. So it's talking about ghost vibes. Yeah, I think that could be funny. Could that go viral? Maybe. Who knows? I'm not reading all this, but you can see how detailed it is for your video scripts. I think we're a video society. I really do. We spend so many hours in front of video, whether it be TV or YouTube or your laptop. And then I have to tell you, people are watching TikTok and short films. They just are. And at first I thought it was maybe just the teenagers, because I do have a teenager and my teenager hangs out with other teenagers, and I come in and I look at them and you know what they're doing. They're all on their phones and they're watching TikTok. And I'm like, wow, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, that's all right. They're teenagers. What are you going to do? I probably did some stupid stuff when I was a teenager. My parents looked at me in the same manner. But then I'm out with 20s, 30s, and I'm now in my mid to late 40s. And I'm out and people are like, look at this TikTok. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's not just the teenagers. So that tells me I need to go out there and I need to do some of this, short form videos, because they're out there watching it. Now, the teenagers aren't my target demographic, but people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, well, those people are buying homes. So whether it's TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Stories, doesn't really matter where it is. You need to go out there and do it. And I'm not an expert in it yet, but one of my goals for the second half of 2023 is to start doing short form video. And I can tell you the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to get a ChatGPT. I'm going to tell it to write something funny as far as these different things. And I'm going to not copy the script, but I'm definitely going to use some of the information there that helps me with that creativity side. So I'm not spending hours and hours on coming up with the content. Now, I know I've seen some of the people on here, and some of the people on this call are already using the short form videos. And I know people that I talk to personally that have gotten deals from using short form videos. So if you guys have any tips, put them in the chat. Tell us how you come up with your content. Tell us any tips that you have, because I think that as the generations start using and watching these short form videos a little bit more, I think it's a great way to just make sure you're top of mind. And, that's the name of the game, right? If they see you on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, and now they're watching your TikTok videos, and your clients are out there at church or at a bar, and someone says, do you know a great real estate agent? Well, then they can really, hopefully, share your information based on the type of person they're talking to. If they're talking to someone with a great sense of humor, maybe they say, oh my gosh, my real estate agent's great. Look at this funny TikTok video he did. Or if they're a little bit more professional, they'd say, hey, look, here's a video that's a little bit more serious on LinkedIn that he did. So I think you just got to be everywhere for that top of mind awareness, because we know that it's tough to come across real estate deals right now, especially listings. And the more places you're in, the better. And I don't think you have a reason not to go out there and at least be able to create the content on these different platforms. ChatGPT will write your blog. They will write your video. They will write a lot of this information for you, so you don't have to go out there and create it. So from there, it's just making sure that you can edit it and get it out there. Perfect. Let's check the chat here. Grace uses her knowledge in ChatGPT and then copy and paste the script into big view. Is that big view, I assume. That's a teleprompter, yes. So love it. I've tried to use a teleprompter and then I read it. So we're just gonna, whenever I had to go out there and do videos, it's just gonna be bad. And I know a lot of professionals say, don't go wing it. And I'm like, here I am, just winging it. But whether you read a teleprompter, whether you ring it, where you at least make an outline, I think there needs to be something out there. And if you can use a teleprompter without acting like you're reading it, great. I struggle with that. Maybe it's my bad eyesight. Is anyone else in their late 40s? I don't know what happened to my eyesight. It used to be great. Nowadays, not so much. Next, just, there's different tones out there. So we're going to look at ChatGPT with a couple different options. So we're going to write a bio that's casual. We're going to write a bio that's serious. And we're going to write a bio that's playful. And you can even ask ChatGPT to write a funny Facebook ad. And I think humor goes a long way. And depending on the platform you're on, you want a different tone. So it's not going to be you, obviously. You can put your inflection in it, but at least it can go out there and write a more casual bio that you edit and things like that. So let's go see what ChatGPT can do for us. We're going to say, write a casual bio. And let's see how ChatGPT does as far as a casual one. And we're using words like friendly, aficionado, passion. So I think that's a little bit, more friendly, casual. I love it. Now, separately, we can say, write a serious, professional bio for a real estate agent. So you could do both versions and kind of take what's best from it, or you can say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not that serious of a real estate agent. That's why my clients love me. Maybe I am a serious professional and that's why my clients love me. At the end of the day, when I go and all I do half the time outside of taking care of agents calling is recruit real estate agents. And when I go to a lot of real estate agents and I see their bio online, I'm thinking that's probably not what the consumer wants to see. People work with people. And when I go to your website and your bio isn't great, I think some agents are missing the mark. So use ChatGPT, run a couple different ones. So let's go back to the friendly local realtor and say, I like that, but let's regenerate another one. So this is 2 of 2. So it's going to be just a little bit different. Maybe I can take a few things from each of them as I'm going out there. But I believe when I go to your website, when I go to your online things and I click on your bio and it's blank, that's just going to be really tough, because I think in today's age, when I'm inviting you to my home to list my home, and I don't really know you, it was a referral from a friend or family member, I know they're going to go out there and Google me. They're going to take a look. They're going to find my website. They're probably going to find some of my social media profiles. And I want them to get to know me a little bit more. I would make it a little bit more personable than professional, but obviously that's your choice. If I have dogs and kids and stuff like that, I'm going to put all that in there. People work with people, and then I'm going to show them that I'm knowledgeable and professional when I get in their home, but I want them to trust me. So the best way to get them to trust you is that they know me. So your bio is a huge way. ChatGPT can help. If you don't have that bio out there everywhere, go out there and run that. And then, we're going to ask it to write 5 funny Facebook ad taglines to see how it does with that. Now, some of these you may love. I don't know that I like to say tired of living in your parents' basement, but at the end of the day, there's lots of people living in their parents' basement. And it says, own dungeon, oops, dream home. So there's lots of different things out here, but you can go out here and you get the idea and get funny versus serious, really change the tone of how ChatGPT is going to give you the answers to those prompts. Scripts are huge. I know for those of you who've been in the business for a long time, you say, I don't use scripts. I know what I want to say. Script sounds like they're reading it. Well, for those of you newer in the business that don't have that script down, use a script until you're excellent at it. I called for sale by owners for years, and I used a script, and I found one that I liked online. I tailored it to my personality, and I said the same thing over and over and over and over. Now, I haven't sold real estate since 2014. So we're going on almost 10 years. I still know my FSBO script because I didn't read it. I just knew it. I was on the phone. I knew what worked. I knew when to pause. I knew when to use inflections. So I like using a script until it's so much it's second nature to you, because you can do that A/B testing and see what works. Now, we don't really have to ask for a lot of price reductions right now, but maybe you have that seller that's just unrealistic and they're like, I know you're telling me the home's with 450, but I want to list it for 550. And you're like, well, I don't want to take a listing that much. Let's settle on 5, and then we'll talk about a price reduction later. Well, those price reductions are, a difficult conversation to have. You can just ask ChatGPT to write a script that's going to go in and say, hey, give me, kind of a guideline of what I may use to ask. So we go out there and it gives us the script. Now, do you want to read this? Absolutely not. But you say, hey, kind of give me an outline of what I want to say. So I think, lots of good information in here that you'd be able to do that at least make it a little bit more comfortable for you to make that phone call. Because even in this market, I still see expired and canceled listings. And when I see an expired and canceled listings, a lot of those experts are going to tell you there's only 3 reasons a home don't sell. I think you can narrow that down to almost 1 for most people in this market. It's already on the MLS. Yeah, you could probably have, better condition or better photos or better marketing. But if you lower the price, it's going to work. And lots of agents aren't even asking to lower that price because they're uncomfortable doing so. And then we have people still calling expireds and canceled listings today, which you think in this market don't happen, but they do. Check your MLS. I guarantee you have dozens of listings that have been canceled or expired in the last 30 days. So we want listings. They're out there. And you experienced agents obviously know how to go out there and ask for a price correction. But as some of the newer agents, it's a difficult conversation. This will give you a good idea. Obviously, you can ask it lots of different things. Ask for a script on FSBOs, ask for a script on expireds, ask for a script for any target market that you want. If you want to focus on, attorneys, or you want to focus on anything out there that you say, I really want to focus on this market, move up, 55 plus, entry level, luxury. It'll write a script based on that target market. And I think someone asked this earlier, if it could rewrite it in different languages, and it certainly can. Now, I'm not great when it comes to different languages, but if I just took this information, I don't know how much I copied of it, but I come down here and I say, rewrite this in Spanish. It's going to go out there and rewrite it in Spanish, which is wonderful, and it works both ways. If English is your primary language and you're also bilingual and speak Spanish as a second language, this may be a great way for you to say, okay, great. Obviously, you need to be bilingual. Please, please, please don't only speak English and post this, because if you don't know what it says, it can make mistakes. But if you can speak both, they give you some really good ideas of quickly and easily get that out there in both languages. So if you blog in English and you blog in Spanish, you write it whichever one you want, and it will translate it either way into your secondary language that you speak. So I know lots of agents that blog in 2 languages, and they do a great job of making sure that people feel comfortable speaking in their native language when they're buying or selling a home. This is a super easy way to translate it. I know Google Translate does a good job as well, but double check it. And maybe you say, hey, let's check Google Translate and let's check ChatGPT and make sure that we're saying what we want. But definitely afraid of agents going out there trying to say, yeah, I'll use Google Translate when I'm there to do it. That scares me. I think, to help someone that doesn't speak English, you need to speak their language. If you don't, get an interpreter. And Instagram is huge. I know tons of agents that are just killing it on Instagram, have, hundreds of thousands of followers out there. So you're able to go out there and write those short Instagram captions easily. So just tell it what you want, right? So right now we're going to tell it to write a short Instagram caption about a real estate post or a market update. Now, this isn't 2023, which it can't do. But again, this is just going to be for a caption. So that gives you one of those things that says, hey, let's write the caption. And then we have to check and say, hey, is it really there? Because, we don't have the 2023 numbers. So it stopped in 2021, but it's still going to give me a good idea, right? Is it heating up? Talks about the Queen City. It talks about some local things in Cincinnati that you have. And I love that it automatically adds the hashtags, it adds the emojis. I'm horrible at hashtags and emojis. I don't know if I'm just getting old. My kids tell me I am, but if I did this and it's going to give them to me, love it. And again, this is unique content. It's not copied, it's not plagiarized. Whenever I put it out there, to my knowledge, Facebook, Instagram, all these see this as unique, and they like unique, relevant content instead of something that's copied and pasted. Part of their algorithm says, hey, if this is out there on 15 different posts, I'm going to devalue this. I'm not going to show it to as many people that you're friends with in the program. So this will allow you to easily do that. Put all those things in there, especially if you struggle like I do with emojis and hashtags. Lots of other things in there, right? Just, give me 10 Instagram posts for a realtor in your city. So lots of different things that you can do to really generate those ideas. And again, if you like my YouTube channel, I'm going to send all this to you. That way you can just copy from here and put these prompts directly into it. That my YouTube channel is going to be on the last slide. We're almost there. So ad content, right? We're always trying to write ads, whether it be on Google or Facebook or anywhere you're writing an ad. You can go out there and ask it to write ads for you, and it's going to do a lot of that heavy lifting. So it goes out there, it writes the ad for you. So if you're looking for a dream home in Estero, Florida, here's the screen so you can go out there and do your video ad. It makes it super, super easy. And obviously you'll say, well, I love this part and I hate that part, and tailor it. Now, I did not come up with a conclusion for this. We're going to let ChatGPT write its own conclusion. So ChatGPT, you'd think would be biased and says, use ChatGPT. But we're going to ask it to write a conclusion to a presentation by why realtors should or should not use ChatGPT in their business. So obviously, it's going to start with the good things. I probably would too if I was ChatGPT. So it can revolutionize the customer experience. It can handle a bunch of questions. It can handle multiple conversations simultaneously. It helps you gather insight, data. Now, it says here's why you shouldn't. It's without limitations, right? So it hasn't been trained on some things. It's probably not trained on real estate as much as maybe some other items. It requires proper training and mentoring. In conclusion, ChatGPT has immense potential to revolutionize customer interactions, improve efficiency, and enhance business outcome for realtors. Be careful, make sure that you still give it that human oversight. And that's really the items that I had today. I'm going to open it up to chat and general questions. All of my videos are now going on my YouTube channel. It's at My Call Coaching. So please go out there, like that. There's a couple out there already. And the next one getting put up tomorrow is going to be how to get your offer accepted in a multiple offer situation in this market that we're currently in. What have you guys done to use ChatGPT that you'd like to share with the group to make sure that we're as efficient as possible and we're really helping our online presence? I think I sent that to just one person. Thank you very much. comment. The video will be up later on YouTube, but if you commented here, I'm going to send you the presentation. If you comment on my YouTube channel, I'll comment there, and there will be unique content posted there also. Nicole says it helps with busy life, dinner planning, grocery. Oh, I never even thought about that. That's wonderful. Thank you for subscribing. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. If you have any questions overall, you can also email me or text me. My email and text are right on the screen. Thank you guys very much. And follow up with me. If you go out there and you use ChatGPT and it helps you get a client or it really helps your online persona, let me know. Love helping agents. Thank you guys. Goodbye.